Triple-digit temperatures tonight in Fresno, California, as two teams look to start a hot streak of their own, with Lexington SC in town to face off against Central Valley Fuego FC. Phil Galati with you tonight for the first ever meeting between a pair of squads looking to make a charge towards the playoff line. But before we talk starting lineups, let's take a peek at the current standings in USL League One. As I mentioned, both of these teams in the playoff hunt. Central Valley currently at the bottom, 10 points, 12th place. Meanwhile, you add 4 points, you go 2 places up. That's Lexington SC with 14. So lots to play for and lots more soccer to be played this season as well. For Central Valley, it's new leadership in charge in head coach Adam Smith. He's been the sporting director of the club since its foundation. Now he's back in the Central Valley, but there is one Achilles heel that he's had to address before he took over, and that's this team's inability to score. It's been 35 days since Central Valley found the back of the net. See these boys in action on the sidelines, and they played well. They had a couple chances. Maximus X header in the 5th minute was cleared off the goal line heroically. This is a team that has the talent. They're just missing that final touch in front of goal. There's one player for Lexington who has been providing that touch time and time again recently. That's Nico Brown. The Baltimore, Maryland native is able to pick up the top corner when he likes. 3 goals in his last 3 appearances. His head coach, Stam Sockley, says, well, he trains how he plays how he trains, and that is pretty darn good. All right, it's still hot here, and it's still not quite time to get the ball rolling from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk the starting 11s and get the ball moving. You're watching USL League One on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer, bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome back to Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Phil Galati with you, and it's just about time to get things underway. But before we do that, we got to introduce you to the starting lineups tonight. See which batch of 11 players will be taking the field on either side of the coin. For the host, Central Valley first, it's 5 at the back, a new change under head coach Adam Smith. But what hasn't changed is some players up top. Antonio Jaramillo, number 9, leading the line. Maximus Eck, the 17-year-old, making his 2nd professional start. Meanwhile, Alexis Cerritos back into the starting lineup, who leads the team with 3 goals to his name. Harold Hansen as well in midfield. This is his first start since June 10th versus Richmond. Another player who hasn't started in a while, this time for Lexington, Eric Ceja Gonzalez. At the back, just his 2nd appearance of the season and first since April 29th against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Meanwhile, Atsiz Diouf up top, scored last week against the Charlotte Independents. That broke a 4-game scoring drought for him. And as we mentioned earlier on, Nico Brown on the left side of things, wearing number 77 with 5 goals to his name, 3 in his last 3 matches. 4-4-2, pretty standard formation for most coaches. For head coach Sam Stockley, it's all going to be about moving the ball quickly and staying compact in defense, which that formation allows him to do just fine. There are the visitors tonight. Lexington in the all-white away strip with the black numbers. One last huddle, led by the captain tonight, Charlie Machel. Meanwhile, Central Valley, so many things to talk about with this team. A team that really could and maybe should be higher up in the standings than they are. Just haven't been able to find the back of the net regardless of who's on the sideline for them. So maybe with some new faces in midfield, some familiar faces up top, that could change tonight in front of a home crowd. It will be Lexington to take the opening kick. Just about ready to get things underway from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. The host Central Valley on the left in the red, attacking left to right. The visitors attacking right to left, and we are finally underway from Fresno, California. 104 degrees currently, as the hosts already look to get on the front foot with Maximus Eck. Needing options in the box, early cross, acrobatically met first time, and then safely put out to the sideline. Quick shout out as well, I have to mention, to @FireSquadFresno on Twitter. Last time out, got to call Central Valley and forward Madison, and I mentioned that it was Maximus Eck's first appearance. It was his first start. I misspoke, somebody caught me, and I appreciate that, because we always want to make sure we get our facts right and our words correct as often as possible. There is Alexis Cerritos, who leads the team with 3 goals. The DC United Academy product. Not the only DC United Academy product, by the way. Nico Brown for Lexington as well. We talked about him earlier. Also a graduate of that team who struggled tonight, actually, down in Foxborough. The Revolution came away 4-0 victors, as MLS All-Star Tyler Miller, the goalkeeper for DC United. Tough one on the road for Wayne Rooney's squad. Early foul at the back to be restarted by Central Valley. There is Owen Green, the Miami native, the only player to have played every minute in League One competition this season for head coach Sam Stockley. A rock at the back for this squad. And so far his best season as a pro, according to his manager. Has gotten the chance to play right back for most of the season, something he has preferred to do throughout his career but hasn't really had the shot to. And now has really excelled from that position for the visitors tonight. DeLeese heading away right back into the center of the park. Balogun checks back. Sliding challenge goes in. Referee thought about the whistle, elected to stay silent, if only for a moment. Alexis Cerritos just getting a talking to. 3 yellow cards to his name on the season, as Charlie Machel is encouraged to move play along. He'll leave it instead for his teammate. Balogun trying to chase down the loose ball. And out off Cerritos. Both teams just looking a little bit pensive at the back so far. 5 at the back for Central Valley, 4 for Lexington. Chance for the host now to stride forward a bit with Adrian Vera, who put in a solid shift in the eyes of his manager last week in terms of his work rate, just couldn't provide that final ball in the attacking third. That's an excellent pass. All the way towards Omar Lemus. Lovely first touch, but it's going to get away from him. Creative play to keep it in play. Possession ceded to Lexington. That's a poor pass in midfield. Cerritos getting on the end of it. He's going to play Maximus Eck, the 17-year-old dispossessed in the box, and the referee says all ball. Looked like a clean challenge on first glance. But Central Valley, not something they've been able to say often this season, but stepping on the gas early. Putting a little bit of pressure on Lexington SC. Here's Lemus. Early cross. Eck got his head to it, but Jaramillo will keep it in play. Red shirts queuing up in the area. Instead cut back to the top of the box. Cerritos trying to get on the end of it and will bobble its way towards the goalkeeper, Amal Knight, who is an unorthodox keeper in the eyes of his manager, Sam Stockley, but an experienced pro. Has been named to the USL League One Save of the Week a couple times in the last month. Eck fighting for it. Muhammad goes down. And it looks like the Academy product for Central Valley will get a talking to. Still in high school, Maximus Eck, 17 years of age, committed to play college ball. 2024 with UCLA, and nearly scored 5 minutes in against Forward Madison last week, if not for a very impressive goal line clearance by Timmy Mell. And as I mentioned, head coach Adam Smith, this is his second game in charge. He's been the sporting director of this team for the past couple months and has helped to build the academy, among other things. So when he had the chance to get back on the sidelines, he was always going to bring somebody from that academy team. Maximus Eck was his choice. Here comes Lexington. Looked like Balogun might have had some space in the box. Instead works its way all the way back to Eric Ceja Gonzalez, making his second appearance of the season tonight for Muhammad. One-touch passing doesn't provide a lane forward. Angel giving him space to turn and play a lovely pass in behind. North has to come off his line. Didn't get all of it. Still alive for Tate Robertson. Looking to try and pick out a player, and it's off with a thigh of Francois Delis. Robertson with 4 assists this season, leads his team in that category, just unable to pick out a white shirt in the box. Balogun fighting for it, able to keep it in play, but now hurried away from the danger zone. Cerritos on the turn, and a burst of speed to the far side. Red shirts charging forward for Central Valley. Jaramillo will try and pick one out. And the cross left room for improvement. Both teams struggling to dictate the pace of play in the center of the park right now. It's wide open. There is head coach Adam Smith for the Fuego. Not unfamiliar to the Central Valley by any means. Was on the sidelines for Fresno FC in the USL Championship. Achieved some great success with them before that team eventually were unable to compete. And is more than ready, in his words, to be back on the sidelines. Pierre Mané. Hansen puts in a good challenge, but Atez Diouf stays with it. There's queuing up in the area. Would have been a long way to swing that ball in. The 3 forwards for Fuego just giving chase. There's another cross into the box, and North meets it with 2 arms. Cerritos. All the way towards Eck, who has been drifting a little bit on offense in terms of his positioning. A lot of fluidity with the forwards for the hosts so far. First time cross, bounces in front of the near post, Jaramillo didn't get on the end of it. Puts his hand up in apology. That was the ball that any striker would have been salivating for. Instead, cleared out for a corner. First of the night goes the way of Central Valley Fuego. It will be Adrian Vera to take it. Lining up with the left foot for the in-swinging ball to the back post, over everybody. May have came off of that last, and the referee says it did. All night, the netminder for Lexington. 11 caps with Jamaica at the senior level. 2019 Gold Cup runner-up. Ball moved along on the near side. Here's Atez Diouf. Has Brown with him on the overlap. Back for Diouf. Misplayed his first touch a little bit, but weathers the challenge from Harold Hansen. At the first time of asking, the second time looked like a foul. The referee says yes, it was. Hansen chomping at the bit. Just his third start of the season. That's the thing with the new coach, is that every player gets a clean slate. Every player has that renewed spark to prove themselves, to get back in the starting 11. There were a couple selections like Harold Hansen, like Billy Forbes, who had started the last 3 games for Central Valley, who hadn't played in quite some time. Long ball over the top, and it looked like at first glance Mane would have been onside. Inch North urging his defenders to push up and in. Only kept 1 clean sheet this season. Another former MLS Academy product on this pitch tonight with the Portland Timbers, the academy that head coach Adam Smith helped to create. His long ball looks like it came off a defender. Don't know if Owen Green knew anything about it, but it'll be another corner. Central Valley to take. Jaramillo leaves it. The 6'3" forward, probably more useful in the box. Jose Carrera just 5'6", he'll move it quickly. Carrera, Jaramillo. Low cross again. Couple half-hearted appeals for handball. Referee doesn't seem too interested. Another short corner, and Vera just runs out of room. Able to keep it in play. Good first time ball. Dulise's header. Another appeal for a handball. Francois Dulise went right up to the official, pleading, begging his case. And that shout much more animated from Central Valley than the last. Frankie Dulise was looking dangerous off a couple corners last week at Forward Madison and had a penalty shout as well in that game. And another player who really didn't see much game time before the coaching change and has been working towards getting back in the starting 11. Back-to-back starts for him after starting last week for the first time in over a month. Lexington wanting to switch the point of attack. A lot of space between that defensive and midfield line. A little bit of a chop on the far side. The referee's whistle will sound again. Starting to get a little bit physical. Nowhere near the danger zone in terms of chippiness, but nobody backing down from a 50-50 ball, that's for sure. Two teams with something to prove. Two teams trying to turn a couple losing skids around. Abdul Cromwell didn't start last week after 4 straight starts. He's back in the first 11 tonight. Charlie Machel standing over it, plays the slide rule pass along the touchline. Back to Machel. Long ball toward the corner. Great first touch to keep it in play. White shirts in the area available for the cross. It comes in low to the front post. Still not cleared away. And the referee's whistle will blow. May have came off the arm of Pierre Mané, the Senegal native. Making his first start of the season tonight and his 10th overall appearance for head coach Sam Stockley and Lexington SC. Once again, the back line for Central Valley urged to step forward by their goalkeeper. Adam Smith in his technical area already considering instructions for this team. Spoke to Devin Kerr last week, and he made sure to mention that Coach Smith is never one to set anything in stone. They played at 5 at the back last week. They played at 4 at the back at the same game. Always tinkering around, just looking for the solution. If at first you don't succeed. Mohamed will continue his run. Balogun forced out of bounds. Chavez with a little bit of gamesmanship, just preventing the restart for a moment. Mohamed, not a lot of options, very static from the white shirts right now. Eck will try and charge down Knight. Another long ball, and the goalkeeper plays it out of play. A couple of the substitutes for Central Valley looking rather hot. Triple-digit temperatures. We'll get a hydration break in a little bit. Nice turn by Eck to move it along. Cerritos fakes the shot, trying to get it onto his left foot. Instead leaves it for Vera. He wanted the shot too, instead gets the cross away, only to the front post. Cerritos trying to take it down again, but double teamed. Balogun gets it away. Long switch towards Diouf. And Chavez first to meet it in the air. So much green grass in the center of the park at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Both teams yet to really claim a stronghold on that midfield third. That could change now. Jaramillo. Hansen. Thought about that lane to the far side with Vera. Now Adrian Vera will receive the pass. And watching film this week, Coach Smith told his squad there were a couple chances where we could have played that pass forward to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more direct. Have to find those passes that will play the players in behind the back line. That wasn't one of them. Balogun trying to hold it up. Bodies flying everywhere. And the referee doesn't blow the whistle. Here's Maximus Eck. Cerritos. Needs help. Will try and go himself instead. Hansen. First touch was a poor one. He's dispossessed. Lovely link-up play between the two forwards for Lexington. Balogun just as quickly gives it away. Lima saw Knight off his line too. Lovely pass for Lemus, cutting it back in front of frame. and eventually cleared out for a corner by Tate Robertson. It was Otonio Jaramillo again off of Limos's pass. The Achilles heel for this team all season has been that final touch. And another chance for Central Valley goes begging. Looked like a couple Lexington players down as well. All night in some discomfort in his own 6-yard area, receiving some medical attention. All night has played in 11 matches this season, started all of them. Make that 12th tonight with 2 clean sheets. Eunice's cross in. Jaramillo went over, Knight went down for it. Looked like Owen Green too might have got involved in that little tussle. A couple players shaken up. Knight gonna be helped to his feet, which is good to see. He's got stiff competition with Austin Causey, second choice goalkeeper for Lexington. Head coach Sam Stockley says they compete every week for that starting spot. And part of the reason that Knight has been so good is that Causey forces him to be. And it looks like the St. Andrew, Jamaica native will stay in this contest for now. Another Central Valley corner. The referee says wait for the whistle. We won't count that one. Some red shirts in the mixer. Can any one of them meet it? Not at the first time of asking. Hansen tried to bowl his way through a couple defenders. And eventually Balogun will settle on the near side. Pressure from Central Valley, wins the throw, high up the pitch. No, it stays in play rather. Looked like a couple players appealed for that throw-in. Instead, it's going to be moved along to DeLeese. Cromwell. You're back into the center of the park. Mane goes down. The referee will stop play again. Mohammed wanted to keep playing with the advantage. Pierre Mane, his first start tonight. Made his first appearance of the season back on May 13th versus Charlotte. Has featured in pretty much every match since then. Ball was played in the middle of the park, and just a coming together with Harold Hansen. Saw him being physical off that corner a little bit ago. Looked like Mane got the worst of it. Just taking a second, Pierre Mane, to stop seeing stars, and looks like he'll continue. Harold Hansen, meanwhile, also getting some treatment. Mentioned it earlier that both of these teams are fighting for every 50-50 ball. Both of these teams have something to prove, have a bit of a spark in them. So nobody's going to back down from anything. Mane looks like he'll take a second on the sidelines. Doesn't want to be the first substitute for head coach Sam Stockley. Referee going to restart with a drop ball. Now Mohammed will get a chance to get things going, and Mane rejoins the fray. And already it looked like a back five on paper, but offensively seems to be much more of a wide four for Central Valley. Mitch North, oh, that was a little bit scary. Managed to get it away. Long ball worked forward, and again, just so much space in the middle of the park. And passes being misplayed left and right. Toulouse fighting for it and eventually winning it. Curling effort, trying to play Maximus Ek in behind. All Knight is off his line quickly. Mohamed. Here's Pierre Mane. Nobody making the run in behind. Lexington keen just to build it up bit by bit. Lovely first touch by Tariq Mohamed. Playing it out, says Diouf in behind, cuts it back for Balogun. Sent over the tree line. Khalid Balogun is going to have nightmares about that one tonight. Always tough on a bouncing ball, but a player of his caliber needs to do better, and he likely knows it. Cromwell. Carrera. Dropping very deep, Jose Carrera, the facilitator for this team. Able to move the ball very well, play both sides of it as well. But maybe a little bit deeper tonight than he would have liked. Can really excel a little bit forward. Hansen will try and move the ball forward and plays it completely behind the run of Omar Lemus. Tariq Mohamed making his 10th start of the season tonight. The Toronto native, an Academy product, earned his way from the Academy onto Toronto's second team. Represented Canada at the U17 and U20 CONCACAF championships. Been a consistent starter in head coach Sam Stockley's back line. Mohamed will restart play off the throw. Asking for somebody to check in, sends it long. Gets it right back. Very compact Lexington, not spreading the width of the field, and that allows a quick turnover for Central Valley. Here comes Harold Hansen. Sits his defender down, cuts it back. Comes off a defender, and once again, the final pass from Fuego is just not there. That was something they had been working on in training this week, something that was apparent to head coach Adam Smith before he took over. The missing piece for this team has been just a little bit more of a clinical touch in the attacking third. Toulouse, who's the select ball along the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Another poor pass from the back from Lexington, and Central Valley usually don't see this much of possession. Lexington played very well last time out, an unfortunate 2-1 loss to Charlotte, one of the teams in the running for the first place spot in the regular season. They have not looked as confident on the ball today. Maybe Mohamed can change that. Gets by his mark. Lima's going to try and catch up to him, and the sliding challenge takes him down, but it's expertly timed from Jordan Chavez. Quick throw and sees the ball back in play. Balogun. Central Valley conceded against Forward Madison last week from a quick restart. Not too dissimilar to this one. Nico Brown, powerful cross, maybe too powerful. And another powerful challenge too from Adrian Vera. Kate Robertson for Lexington just looking a little bit puzzled as to the shape of this team defensively. It hasn't been as compact as Central Valley so far. And although the red shirts tonight have seen a couple better chances offensively in terms of working the ball forward, neither side has been convincingly in the driver's seat. Aramillo looking to change that as Lemus to his right and picks him out. First time cross to the front post. X slid in, didn't get the ball, and says a word that we can't repeat on air. The work rate from the 17-year-old more than apparent. After last week, head coach Adam Smith said, at the end of the day, for his performance last week against Forward Madison, he didn't look out of place. And right now, the place for both of these players is on the sideline. As you mentioned, triple-digit temperatures tonight. So we'll take a quick hydration break. That gives us a chance to take a second look at that last ball from Omar Lemus. Just came across the top of it a little bit. Kaylin Fox getting to it first, the Louisville native. Eck trying to fight for it. And a chance for both sets of coaches to address their charges. Adam Smith for Central Valley, very animated, as he always is. Speaking of Central Valley, let's take a look at their next couple games. What's on the docket for Adam Smith and company next time out against Charlotte and then Knoxville. A couple teams that they have not seen before this season. Charlotte, that'll be the first meeting between them. Knoxville they have played twice this season, a draw and a loss to them. Chattanooga, South Georgia, a chance to get some points against both those teams. And then the rematch against Lexington, less than a month away. Not an easy schedule by any means, but don't think there is such a thing in USL League One. As for Lexington's next couple games, they'll return home to Toyota Stadium to host Union Omaha and the Richmond Kickers. Lost 2-1 to Richmond back on May 20th. First meeting, though, with Union Omaha next up. And then another meeting with Union Omaha, followed by Northern Colorado and, of course, the current Golden Boot leader, Trevor Ammon, which should be an exciting contest before these two teams face off again in mid-August. Head coach Sam Stockley for Lexington did talk about the heat this week. They said they've been trying to train the hottest time of the day just to get used to it as best as they could. There is the manager for Lexington SC. Helped to build a youth program of his own at Lexington with around 1,400 players and about 100 coaches, including a girls' academy and a USL Academy program. Not unlike the work that head coach Adam Smith has done. And at the end of the day, of course, these coaches want wins on the board for their respective franchises, but helping to prepare, to build, to cultivate that next generation of U.S. soccer players, that is worth applause in and of itself. Just amazing to see the opportunities in the men's and the women's game popping up in this country, left, right, and center in recent years. Knight sending it skyward. Both players that we saw in a physical battle earlier, Mane and Hansen, going for it. Referee has called a foul. That'll be a battle to watch tonight. Those two have been going at it since the first minute. They're getting a couple words into each other as well. Neither seems too pleased, but it will be a Central Valley free kick from the looks of it. Carrera with the long ball. Net first time in the air. Central Valley don't really have the height offensively. That's something that Coach Smith has pointed out a couple times. Aside from Antonio Jaramillo, who almost got on the end of that one, went in high. There may be a card in order here. Referee still hasn't gone to the book. That looked like it might be able to go either way. Jaramillo just trying to chase it down and definitely had the studs exposed. That's a tough one. Referee was in a good spot to see it. Didn't look like he came in with too much reckless force. And the card stay in the pocket for now. Oh, that might change now. Was that a high foot? Adam Smith doesn't think so. Referee is reaching for the back pocket. Player is down, and it is a red card. It is a straight red card for Jose Carrera. Right in front of his head coach, Adam Smith. Neither can believe the call. Carrera was contesting for it. The referee says studs to the face. And on a very hot California night, Carrera will have a chance to cool down with an early shower. Coach Smith can't believe it. Neither can Jose Carrera. He'll have to take off that captain's armband too. He can't take that to the locker room with him. He is absolutely gobsmacked at the call. That's his first red card of the season, the 5th player for Central Valley in 2023 to get early marching orders. The referee says, you gotta go. We'll give the captain's armband to Antonio Jaramillo. And that changes things. That will really change things. A player who has so much calmness on the ball for Central Valley is gone. The defender went down with the head. The studs from Carrera went up, and the referee was right in front of it and decides to go with the red card. The yellow card also been issued to the coaching staff for Central Valley. The decision is serious foul play. And for the rest of this match, Fuego will be missing arguably one of their most creative players in the center of the park. Focus, focus, screams Coach Adam Smith. They'll have to turn that dial up to 11 now that they only have 10 on the pitch. So in a game that already had so much space in the center of the park, I mentioned it before, I will likely mention it again, how both teams have a chance to dominate, to put two hands around that middle third and claim it as theirs. Now there's going to be one less player in that middle third for the hosts. Nemus's pass picked out. Nemus dragged down, and the referee will call foul on Nico Brown. Playing with 10 men, not an unfamiliar situation. The 5th time this season that Central Valley has seen a player dismissed early. What does head coach Adam Smith have up his sleeve for this side? They've been aching for a breakthrough, begging for a goal for 35 days. It's going to get that much more difficult now. Cerritos, the pass a little bit long for him. He fights his way to goal. There on the far side, winning another Central Valley corner. It will be the man that wanted Adrian Vera to take it. Doesn't have an assist on the season. What a time this would be to get your first. Toward the back post. A little bit behind Chavez. Hansen fighting for it, going down. More appeals for a penalty. The referee once again not interested. Play going right the other way at lightning speed with Nico Brown, who's dispossessed just as quickly. Appeals for offside. End-to-end action eventually going to be brought to a stop by the assistant's flag. A moment of chaos as Antonio Jaramillo adjusts the captain's armband, given to him by Jose Carrera. Omar Lemus has gone down. That left leg. He's been up and down that near sideline all game long. He's worked a couple crosses in to no avail. He was a consistent starter last year in MLS Next Pro for San Jose Earthquakes 2. San Jose native. He started the last 4 matches straight, hadn't done that since early May. And we'll get a little bit of the magic spray and try and continue. Lemus back on his feet. Only a couple minutes until 45 have expired. Likely there will be some significant added time tacked on to the end of this first half. As off screen, there has been another yellow card issued to the technical area for Central Valley. This time on somebody different than the last. This time around, it was head coach Adam Smith. Previous one was against Coach Gonzalez, the assistant. Right all the way out of his area. Eck trying to apply the pressure. We saw a little bit of fluidity with this shape offensively and defensively for Central Valley, but that was before one of their 2 midfielders was sent off. Interesting to see what the game plan is going forward, especially after halftime. Owen Green fighting for it to the far side. You can see how compact Lexington is on offense. Not really spreading the width of the field yet. They'll try and do that now. That's Diu from distance. Looked like there was a piece of it on the way through. And Mitch North not going to be too troubled by that one. You've scored last time out against Charlotte. Broke a 4-game drought for him offensively. He's up to 4 on the season now. Cerritos. Cromwell. Coach Smith asking for the long ball, and Cromwell will oblige. Lemus. Into his left. Now he keeps it on his right. Maybe should have switched feet. Hansen making the run. Now offside on the throw-in after all. Now playing Harold Hansen in behind. Trying to stay on his feet in the box. Still with Hansen. Eventually poked away for a moment. Lemus' first time cross goes out for another Central Valley corner. And fair play as well to Harold Hansen, who stayed on his feet in the box. Could have easily felt that contact and hit the deck. Something that maybe isn't rewarded enough in this sport. Attackers staying on their feet in the 18-yard box. It'll be the left foot of Adrian Vera once again, as we get word that there will be 9 minutes of first half stoppage time. We head into the first. A flick on at the near post comes off a defender. A for creativity from Otto Jaramillo, maybe a C- in execution. These players will have to play for a little bit longer in this heat before everybody gets some water. Sun begins to set, but it's still 102 degrees right now, according to my weather app. Knight asking for a little bit better structure from his defenders before he restarts from the goal kick. Plays it short. First time ball from Machel. Opens up space on the far side. Fox asking to send it long. Instead goes right back to the goalkeeper. Despite having one less man on the pitch, Fuego applying some pressure defensively, keeping their shape very well. Brown tried to turn and went over. A couple Lexington players puzzled that they didn't hear the whistle. Another long ball in behind. Jaramillo, not one with an explosive burst of pace. The words of his head coach, not mine. But then again, that's not his purpose with this team. He's telling the referee that him all night took too long to restart play. That's always going to be a difficult case to argue. Honda almost dispossessed once again. Just a little bit too laissez-faire at the back from Lexington so far. Nobody really exploiting the space. Brown almost stumbling over his first touch, but now he's off to the races. He's got real estate in front of him, misplaces the ball again. This game just begging for somebody to provide a little bit of energy, a little bit of class, a little bit of some professional flair. It is wide open for anybody to be the hero, and plenty of time before the break as well. Lovely move by Cerritos. Vera. Eck checking in. Hansen gets the 1-2 with Eck. Cerritos. Incredible agility from him. First time cross deflected, and Knight will keep it in play and in his arms. He wants to restart early. It's a good idea from him all night. Forced down Bill Cromwell to play it out of touch. Nobody in a hurry to restart play, as Tate Robertson will slowly saunter his way over to the ball. A former Chattanooga FC man in Nisa. Plays a good first-time pass to Balagoon, who goes over the line too. Flag quick to go up from the assistant official on the far side. Into the 50th minute. Lee Balagoon has had a little bit of a frustrating day at the office so far. Player down for Lexington. Ball just over hit for Omar Lemus. Lemus, Travella pass. Balls towards Cerritos, and poked away by Mane. Here goes Nico Brown, battling with Harold Hansen. Both players giving everything for the ball, and Hansen giving maybe a little bit too much. Yellow card is out from the official. And uh-oh, players are joining, trying just to quell tempers a little bit. Not long now before halftime. And to be fair to Nico Brown, Harold Hansen has been very physical today, as he should be, as any good midfielder is, but this time a little bit too physical by the judgment of the referee. He'll pick up his very first yellow card of 2023. Taking another look at both players just showing so much tenacity. The ball, Hansen went down and got the ball, to be fair, but a little bit too much of a jersey pull, or maybe it was for the shove. Either way, just losing his cool temporarily. And credit to both sets of players for either team of breaking things up. Tempers that seemed to flare a couple minutes ago have had time to wash away. Nobody seemed too hurried to get back into position for the restart as the sun starts to set in Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Here's Alexis Cerritos. Led the team in goals before the coaching change and hasn't really had a shot since. Lima's having a lot of space on that near side. Central Valley, to their credit, doing a very good job of stretching the field offensively, despite their numerical disadvantage. Another good sliding challenge as well from Jordan Chavez. Into minute 53 of the minimum 54. Mane. Kalen Fox making his 70th appearance tonight in USL League One. Balagoon with a creative turn that didn't quite fall his way. Central Valley going to try and play direct once again. Heck, going to almost get on the end of it. Looks for a second there that the 17-year-old might get the better of his mark. It will fall towards him now, but elects to let it roll out of play. Maximus Eck going to leave the ball for Varant. Central Valley just playing that route one pass a little bit more now, seeing if they can catch the back line for Lexington napping. Minute number 54. Lemus gets the 1-2. Tries the early cross towards Maximus Eck. It's going to be too strong. Eck goes down and doesn't seem to plead his case too much as some of the Fresno faithful look on. making just his second ever professional start. The teenager hasn't seen too much of the ball tonight, but then again, no forward has. Mane, time maybe for one last attack from Lexington before the break. Another smart feint by Abdul Cromwell, who has demonstrated some excellent composure to win the ball back in tough situations for Fuego. And before Mitch North can get things restarted, the referee blows for halftime. Still scoreless at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Nico Brown still asking for help from the officials. The leading goal scorer tonight from Lexington SC hasn't had a shot and really hasn't had much opportunity to get forward either. Both sets of players searching for answers as to how to break the deadlock. And the coaches will have plenty of time to try and decide. Central Valley have been on the front foot so far, but it's halftime right now. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league, the USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer, bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome back to Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Still scoreless between Central Valley Fuego FC and Lexington FC. And, well, it wouldn't be a halftime show if we don't start with the highlights and a couple players who had a couple assists to talk about. Mark Schoenster, what do you got?
We're going to have it happen this next week, too, though. So another blessing onto your watching endeavors. It was Northern Colorado against One Knoxville. In the 8th minute, you saw that beautiful pass from Arthur Rogers to Trevor Ammon. And oh, look, another wonderful pass from Arthur Rogers, this time to Bruno Rendon in the 20th minute to give the Hailstorm a 2-0 lead early on in the game. But then in the 34th minute, this cross from Thomas and the diving header of Angelo Kelly getting his first goal with One Knoxville, although at a price you see there, colliding with his teammate Ilya Ilic. And if this looks familiar, it's not the same goal, but it's a very familiar and similar looking goal to the one scored earlier. Rogers to Rendon, 3 hat tricks on the day for Arthur Rogers. Keep note on that. We're going to talk more about that later. But there would be another response, and it would be another Angelo Kelly goal. Doesn't look like he hasn't scored all season with an effort like that. It also doesn't look like he got hit in the face earlier in the game. What an effort from him. But later in the match, 90th minute, Billy King said, enough. This game is done. 3 points on the road for the Hailstorm, winning the match 4-2 Ayman Zayed's side, with just 14 games, are sitting atop the table coming into the weekend, and Arthur Rogers is just the 5th player in League One history to rack up 3 assists. Let's go look at the first player to get 3 assists in a League One game all the way back in 2019, Connor Antley, in a 3-1 victory over Tucson back in 2019. This is the only game that we're going to highlight here where all 3 goals were assisted by Antley in the match. There were no extra goals by Tormenta in the affair. Also, Connor Antley, the only player to get all 3 of his assists in the second half. He assisted Lucas Coutinho, Alex Morel, and Marco Micheletto. As we pivot over to the second time a player had 3 assists in a single game, Ricky Ruiz on the road at Wake Met Soccer Park, one of the several times that the Chattanooga Red Wolves just styled on North Carolina FC early on in North Carolina FC's tenure in USL League One. You see some of the wonderful assists he puts up on a plate, including this one put in by Jonathan Ricketts. He also assisted Marky Hernandez and Jackson Dietrich in that game. Ricky Ruiz is now playing with RGV in USL Championship. This is a familiar face in League One this season. Devin Boyce, of course, wearing a different jersey. This is the only venue in all of USL League One to see 2 separate 3-assist matches, Irk Russell Park. This one, though, Tormenta fans will be a little bit less excited about. Devin Boyce helping Union Omaha to a 4-0 victory. Kind of nice we can get assists after shots like that. And then this one for number 3, not only the 3rd assist of the game for Boyce, but also the 3rd goal of the game for Evan Conway, getting a hat trick in that match. Conway now with the San Diego Loyal. As we get to the last time we had a 3-assist game before this last Tuesday, Jonathan Bolaños last season against the Independents. Man, he was an assist master last season for the Richmond Kickers. He assisted Ethan Bryant, Matthew Bentley, and Ethan Bryant, the only player to get all 3 of his assists in the first half of a USL League One game. Jonathan Bolaños now with Huntsville City FC. All these players who have been able to accomplish that wonderful accomplishment in USL League One. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we got more content for you on ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
Welcome back. back. Let's take a look at some news and notes around the league. For Forward Madison, head coach Matt Glaser has been named the coach of the month. And of course, why not? He leads the league in points for the month of June. Meanwhile, for player of the month, it's Emiliano Terzaghi, of course, the leading goal scorer in the history of this league. Scored all 5 of his team's goals in June. And another name, of course, if you know this league, you know Trevor Ammon. We talked about him on this broadcast, for Pete's sake. He's leading the league in goals and continues to score. He leads the team of the week, too. A couple other notable names on this list. Miguel Ibarra had 96% passing accuracy. That was the best in the league that week. Rashid Nuhu in net had a week-high 6 saves in Omaha's 4-1 win over Richmond. And Dane Kelly scored in back-to-back matches for the first time in his career since April 2022. Not a bad day at the office for the Charlotte frontman. Let's take a look now at the scoreboard from the league. This is the last match of the night. Couple wrapping up as well. Northern Colorado going to grab all 3 points and move to first in the league. Meanwhile, North Carolina FC Forward Madison FC 2-2 game between 2 teams that have been chomping at the bit all season long. And South Georgia Tormenta with 4 goals past Chattanooga's 2. A couple really exciting matches around the league this weekend. Looking to next weekend, rather, there's a couple more matches we should be talking about. Of course, we start the slate midweek on Tuesday with 1 Knoxville Union Omaha, Wednesday Charlotte and Greenville. As for next time out, we already talked about Lexington and Union Omaha. Central Valley going to travel to Charlotte to face the Independents. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC will look to retain their top of the table standings against currently 6th place Richmond. Let's take one more break. We'll see you in a bit.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Just about time to get things underway once again from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Scoreless after 45 between Central Valley Fuego FC and Lexington SC. Let's take a look at the highlights from those first 45 minutes. A lot of corners for Central Valley, just unable to really connect with any shots on frame, not for lack of trying. This one in the middle looked like it might have come off an arm there. Referee said no. Frankie DeLise's header blocked on the way through. Khalid Balagoon went up to challenge with him, and the whistle stayed silent. Fast forward a little while. Tez Diouf on the end of it cuts it back for Balagoon, who, the pass was a little bit behind him and it's bouncing, to be fair, but still a forward of his caliber, you'd expect that to be worked a little bit closer to the frame. Another good pass from Omar Lemus, who is seeing some success down that near sideline. Maximus Eck just couldn't connect with it on account of Kalen Fox getting in the way. And then, of course, the moment that was the moment of the first half, when Jose Carrera went studs up and Tate Robertson went head down. And Carrera, a straight red card, the decision from the center official tonight. And since the 36th minute, Central Valley have been down to 10. It will be Central Valley to restart things with the second half kickoff. Maximus Eck getting some final instructions. And it'll be curious to see how things change now for head coach Adam Smith, because at the break against Forward Madison, the script was flipped, for lack of a better word. And Central Valley definitely produced more chances in that second half. Unlucky not to get a point on the road. That has been the story for this squad this season. That could change now. Once again, the ball is rolling in Fresno, California. And just with 10 men on the pitch for Fuego, you may try and be a little bit more direct with things. You saw that in the tail end of the first 45, playing that long ball over the top towards Maximus Eck, towards Antonio Jaramillo. Eck definitely the faster of the pair. Jaramillo, more of a player who plays with his back to goal, the traditional number 9, able to bring other teammates forward into the fray. Somebody you can play off of. But that might have to change now in the absence of Jose Carrera. Cerritos couldn't get on the end of the pass. Owen Green will restart play. The man who had over 3,000 career minutes at FIU, the only player to play every minute this season in USL League One for Lexington SC. Here is Abdul Razak Cromwell. Another direct ball. It looks like it might be the early calling card for the hosts. And another poor pass out of play. Couple players to talk about who have entered this contest for Central Valley. 2 halftime substitutions. Harold Hansen is now on the bench. In his place is Ozzy Ramos, who makes his 16th appearance of the season and just the second time he hasn't started a game. Hansen, of course, picked up that yellow card. And there's the other substitute, Billy Forbes, who had started the last 3 games straight and has been taken off, rather put onto the field. Antonio Jaramillo has been taken off the pitch. So an attacking change and a midfield change. And it looks like, despite one less player, Central Valley will stay with the front 3. Maximus Eck has scored! Central Valley have scored a goal for the first time in 35 days. And it's the 17-year-old Maximus Eck, the unlikely hero. A blistering break capitalized upon by the teenager. 1-0 Central Valley. Out of nothing. A one-touch pass from Cerritos. Eck on the end of it with the left foot. Picked that one out. Straight into the top corner. It wasn't going anywhere else. Takes the contact. It doesn't matter. What a way to grab your first. Head coach Adam Smith went on local radio earlier this week. He said, "We have the goal song queued up. We've just been begging for somebody to score." Let that goal song ring around Fresno State Soccer Stadium. 10-man Central Valley have taken the lead early in the second half. Simply staggering. What a way to get your first. What a time to get your first. There are still 42 minutes of soccer plus to be played. Central Valley haven't won a game since June 3rd. Could that change now? Cerritos down in some discomfort. Simply unbelievable. 10-man Central Valley without Jose Carrera, dismissed in the 36th minute. Take the lead at home. And the high schooler picking out the top corner with an incredibly difficult finish. Balogun pleads his case on deaf ears. He could have got the scoring started a little bit earlier in the first half. That's a poor header back. Forbes trying to chase onto it. And that spark that we were talking about in the first half, for somebody to be the hero. That could happen now. There's a professional foul at midfield. The referee says play on. Numbers here for Lexington, looking for the immediate response. It's Nico Brown, stings the palms of Mitch North, and this game is wide open. The man who has scored 3 goals in his last 3 appearances thought he might have had a 4th. The Medford, Oregon native Mitch North stopping the equalizer. Lexington, a team that is dangerous from the set piece. They're first of the night from the corner. It'll be Tate Robertson, the team's assist leader, to take it. Waiting on the confirmation for the official, rather. It was Eric Ceja Gonzalez right in front of his head coach. Haven't gotten any official word on a substitution yet. So as for right now, it looks like Lexington will temporarily play with 10 men, which puts things at even Stevens. Early cross headed away at the back post. The front post, rather. Second ball. North collects easily. How quickly this sport can change. Lady football is a fickle god. It doesn't take much. One bounce, one kick, one moment of individual brilliance, and things change in the blink of an eye. Ball bouncing towards Brown, again chipping in another cross, and Mitch North has had some work to do early in this second half. As we get confirmation of the change, Eric Ceja Gonzalez, in just his second appearance of the season, his night is done. Cesar Murillo will take his place, somebody who had played and started in all 12 of his matches before this one. There's Billy Forbes, a halftime offensive change for Central Valley. Heck, putting enough pressure on to win a corner. You mentioned it a little earlier on that his head coach, Adam Smith, said the 17-year-old did not look out of place last time out against Forward Madison, his first professional start. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and now he's got his first professional goal. Adrian Vera will slowly hobble over to the corner flag. Plenty of chances from his left foot in the first half for Central Valley, not a team noted for their tenacity off of the corner. Opportunity to double the lead here for the hosts. Lofted way to the back post. Elise rises up to meet it. And the defender got a piece of it on the way through. Another direct ball, this time for Lexington. Lemus caught out in possession. Chance for Lexington. The chip, the player goes down. And the referee issues a yellow card to Antez Diouf. Diouf thought he might have had a penalty. Instead, the referee says simulation. Got in behind. You know what? I think the referee might have got that one right. There may have been the slightest of contact, but definitely not the amount that Diouf showed from that fall. Trying to be creative, getting a flick over the keeper, and instead picks up his 4th yellow card of the season. Just a crazy sequence to start this second half after a first that was missing offensive chances from both teams. Completely different game now. Here's Maximus Eck, the goal scorer. Cerritos, long way out, going to try and chip a ball in towards Forbes at the back post, and it needed a clearance away by Muhammad. Still not all the way away from danger. Lemus skips away from a challenge and beats his mark for pace. Lemus's cross way over the head of Cerritos. Needed to be a lot better. It's still alive. Here's Adrian Vera. Ball to the back stick, rising to meet it. It's 2! Jordan Chavez scores the second for Central Valley. A team that has been struggling to find the back of the net all season long. Scores twice in the first 12 minutes of the second half with one less man on the pitch. Incredible scenes in Fresno, California. Central Valley are flying. Lovely pass from Vera. Chavez up to meet it. The Fresno faithful sent into jubilation. What a fantastic header that is. All the way up, completely unmarked, across the frame of the goal. What is happening? If this was your prediction, if you predicted that Central Valley would score 2 quick goals after the break, after losing a man and not having a shot on target in the first half, you need to go buy a lottery ticket or something. This is staggering. There's no other way to describe it. A team that has languished at the bottom of the table, finding 2 quick goals despite a numerical disadvantage. And still, lots of soccer to be played. 32 minutes left in this one, plus added time. But head coach Adam Smith has spoke at length about the hard work of the front office of this team, the hard work of the academy, everybody involved with this club trying to turn things around. And they've all put in so much elbow grease, and the only thing missing was numbers in the win column. And maybe finally that could change. Jose Carrera, arguably one of their best ball movers, dismissed in the 36th minute. And head coach Adam Smith works magic in the locker room. They've looked a completely different team. Chavez could be in behind again here. Leaves it behind for Cerritos. Squares up his defender. Cerritos thinking about the shot. Now Lemus. Chavez clipping it to the back stick and just mistimed the run of Maximus Eck. Chavez was on the back line in that first half. He's been pretty high up the pitch so far. Here goes Khalid Balogun the other way. Lexington looking likely to concede a third here. He'll need someone to step up. Charlie Machel asking that same question. He doesn't have any help in midfield. Lexington have one more man on the pitch. They should be able to find the open pass 10 times out of 10. Mohammed. Brown leaving it behind for Mohammed. Early cross, headed to the top of the key. Cerritos can't turn, moved all the way along and out of play. A little bit better now defensively from Lexington, putting the pressure on. I'm not sure head coach Adam Smith can even believe it. Machel. Green. Fox. Murillo. Mohammed. Players calling for it. Goes under the foot of Atez Diouf. After two quick goals, Lexington looked to be on the front foot here. A long shot and a fantastic diving stop. Mitch North sails through the air and concedes the corner. Diouf on the turn, the bouncing ball, able to get so much topspin on it as well. And an acrobatic stop that needed to happen from Mitch North. It's a poorly taken corner that's easily cleared away from the front post by, not Omar Lemus, rather, Ozzy Ramos. Green's ball stood up to the back post, bouncing around for Diouf! 2-1! Lexington right back in it. This game continues to be absolutely wild. Diouf has his second goal in his second consecutive match, able to take it down. It was over the head of the player in front of him. Settling it, caressing it into the top corner. Nobody was marking him. And you think that'd be the one forward you double mark. What is going on at Fresno State Soccer Stadium? Mentioned in the open, two teams with something to prove. Unbelievable. Just not how anyone would have predicted the second half to start. Still not even 20 minutes into the second half. Chavez. Central Valley won't be keeping the clean sheet tonight. Still going to try and fight for all 3 points. Here's Omar Lemus at speed. Still with Lemus. Going to think about the shot and scuffed it horribly. It was a fantastic run, deserving of a pristine finish. And in the end, barely the studs of his boot made contact with the bouncing ball. Looks like Frankie DeLise will leave the ball behind him. The Lexington native, DeLise, who started the last game. It was his first start since starting in Central Valley's last win, 2-1 victory over Forward Madison back on June the 3rd. Here's Billy Forbes. Fighting off the challenge to Ramos. Will try his luck from way out and didn't come close to finding the frame. Maximus X scored the first goal for this team in 35 days. This team has only scored 2 goals in a game. Twice rather. And they both went down as wins. They've only got 3 wins on the season, only 1 at home, as a couple of changes now for head coach Stan Stockley. He's got an extra man, and now he's got fresh legs on the pitch. Pierre Mane will make way for Don Smart in the center of the park. Another pass broken up in midfield by Cerritos. Eck gets the 1-2 away to Alexis Cerritos. Wanting to pick out the cross. Took a deflection on the way through. Diouf winning it in midfield. Plays Smart in. Mohamed. The front post, Diouf dispossessed once again. So Don Smart, one of 2 substitutes into the game for Lexington SC, the other one being So Kim, taking off Tate Robertson, who we saw draw the red card from Jose Carrera in minute number 36. Diouf, part of the 2 forward pair tonight, has opened up his positioning a little bit more in the second half, checking in for some midfield passes. Here's Mohamed. Had the opportunity to put some crosses in from that far side, instead moved along to Atez Diouf, who tries his luck once again. Thought about appealing for a foul. May have taken some contact when he went to strike it. And in the end, Mitch North falls on top of it comfortably. Diouf now up to 5 goals on the season, tied with Nico Brown for the most on his side. So Kim's first touches as a substitute aren't a good one. Here's Billy Forbes going the other way. He's got his jersey pulled. He has Eck with him. Tries to pick out the 17-year-old. Maximus Eck's shot is saved. Falling to the ground as he struck it, and it may have taken a touch off a defender on the way too. It looks like it might have come off of Kalen Fox last. But you get the feeling there might be more goals in this game just yet. Free kick opportunity in a rather dangerous spot as well for the visitors. Charlie Machel, the captain, standing over it. He's got Mohamed to his left, who has seen acres of space in this second half. Hasn't gone too far forward with it, though. This will be some distance to try a shot. Machel will go for a cross instead, and it will work its way out for a corner. No, a goal kick. Could have sworn it'd be a corner. I think Nico Brown wanted a corner too. He had some words to say to the officials at halftime, and he's got a couple more now. Got to be careful he doesn't get a booking. North calling for his defenders to get up and in once again. That Route 1 pass has been the most effective with one less man on the pitch for Central Valley. Looked like it may have came off an arm there. No. Owen Green a little bit shaken up after that challenge as well. No matter, Lexington will go right the other way. Muhammad recovers his own poor pass. That says Diouf. Trying to break at pace. There's a touch on the way through. Falls back for Muhammad. Diouf again from distance. A little bit of hesitation from Adrian Vera. Communication not quite there. Smart checks his shoulder and turns and plays Muhammad. Heavy first touch. That says Diouf. Moves it along to the far side. First time cross is low to the front post. And Cromwell gets it away. Another corner for Lexington now, and looked like Charlie Machel was in a hurry to take it. It's a good cross to the back stick. Diouf went up to meet it. Second ball fired right at Mitch North. And Kalen Fox knows that could have been the equalizer. Had the whole goal to aim at from just a couple yards away. It was a good corner from the skipper, Charlie Machel. Headed down by Diouf, and Kalen Fox, he caught it okay, but just right at Mitch North. A defender by trade, his 70th all-time USL League One appearance tonight. Hasn't scored this season. Here's Khalid Balogun. Falling away from it and unable to keep the shot down. But in terms of offensive output from both teams, the second half has offered an explosion of chances for either side. Another change to be made, this time for Central Valley. It'll be Jesus Partida coming in for Adrian Vera. Partida was the first choice left back under the previous coach Martin Vasquez. Had played and started in every match before the coaching change. And is already directing traffic. Diouf ran away from it. Thought his teammate might have had it. Eck gonna try and chase it down. Smart, instead getting underneath it. Here's Don Smart. Just playing the simple pass right now. Balogun. Dispossess. Cromwell fighting for it. Turning into a bit of a fray in the center of the park. Nobody can settle it down. Don Smart finally does. There goes Atez Diouf. A pass took a deflection, and North has to chest it. Creative play from the goalkeeper to make sure he doesn't get called for picking up a back pass. The Women's World Cup kicks off on July 20th. Play along with the Women's World Cup Soccer Bracket Challenge presented by USL Super League. Win super cool prizes, including a new 75-inch Hisense TV. Not bad. The bracket launches on Monday. Go to uslsuperleague.com/bracket to learn more. Cerritos skipping away from Nico Brown. Referee saw some contact off the ball but didn't blow the whistle. 10-man Fuego going forward a little bit more comfortably now. Haven't really seen this sort of build up from them in a little bit. Hummel will try and stamp it forward. Forbes was making the run, just hoping that his defender would miss it. And the arm goes up from Adam Smith for the throw-in. So one more hydration break here in Fresno, California. It's still 98 degrees, so not triple digits anymore, though doubt it feels any different to the players. So both players, sets of players rather, just taking a second to get some final instructions. Seatbelts fastened, everybody. This is going to be a hectic final 15 minutes and change. Coach Smith knows it. He wants to bring a win back home to this team, to this community. The Central Valley has been without soccer for so long. Team played well last season but missed out on the playoffs. Meanwhile, Lexington in their very first season have done everything right, says head coach Sam Stockley, in building the academy and promoting the women's side of the game. But the one thing they can't do is put wins on the board, it seems. Lexington on a 3-game losing streak coming into tonight. Central Valley on a 4-game losing streak coming into tonight. 5, I read it wrong, 5-game losing streak. Surely one of them changes. Maybe it'll be a draw. Maybe Lexington will sniff out some points on the road. They've never won away from home this season. Central Valley have 1 win at home in 2023, back on May the 20th. A 3-2 victory against the South Georgia Tormenta. Ozzy Ramos, Billy Forbes, a couple different players. Second half substitutes to both of them. Forbes hasn't seen too much of the ball. Ramos has been tasked with playing a little bit more defensively. Wears the number 6 shirt for a reason. Plays that number 6 role, just helping to facilitate and transition and be an extra man back. Alexis Cerritos has been pretty darn good tonight. Very creative on the dribble, not forcing any poor passes when he doesn't have to. And he's got some space to himself at the top of the box as well. The players are hydrated. The play will continue with Nico Brown. Leaves it in midfield for nobody in white. Ramos chipping it towards Billy Forbes. The 2 substitutes nearly connecting. Falls to Maximus Eck. Moves it along to Alexis Cerritos. It's Cerritos' curler. Just not bending inside the far post. A very difficult effort, wasn't a million miles away. I mentioned that Cerritos had some free space, just unable to wrap his foot all the way around it. 3 goals this season, leading his team in that category. His father, Ronald, played for the El Salvador national team. Alexis has 1 senior cap of his own to his name. That was all the way back in 2017, and at that point, he was the 2nd youngest ever to debut for his country at 17 years and 16 days. How about that for a late birthday present? Long ball for Muhammad, who takes out Mitch North. Central Valley furious. Frankie DeLise arguing with a couple different Lexington players. We saw a red card earlier in this match. Fuego wants another. Tariq Muhammad goes into the books. He has no complaints about that. That's his 4th yellow card of the season. Mitch North is still down. The other goalie for this team, Ofek Antman, suffered an injury warming up for the very first game of the season. Played against Northern Colorado on June 24th. That was the only game that Mitch North hasn't played. He's back up on his feet now and looks to be ready to continue. The Medford, Oregon native played in the Portland Timbers Academy, an academy that his current head coach Adam Smith helped to form. And Adam Smith, back in his playing days, was a goalkeeper. Knows what it's like to take contact, to be fearless in between the sticks, and says that Mitch North is all of that. Lexington trying to restart play quickly. Smart on the loose ball, plays in behind So Kim. Is this the equalizer? Dragged wide of the far post. The second half substitute, So Kim, with his first shot of the game, had so much time and space. Not the easiest of angles. Right at the 18-yard line. Swiped across it. The former Duke Blue Devil unable to level things at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Brown skipping away from a challenge. The whistle will sound this time. David Diaz has been introduced to the game for Central Valley in place of Maximus Eck. The man who got the scoring started tonight. Here comes Billy Forbes the other way. He's got Cerritos and Diaz with him. The 1-2. Now all the way to David Diaz, the substitute's first touches onto his right foot, trying for the shot, and it wasn't far away at all. Oh, so close to a third. Straight onto the pitch, David Diaz, and almost scoring a lightning quick goal. Brown shimmies away from his defender. Into the 83rd minute. Cross towards Balagoon, headed down. And calmly steered away from danger by Omar Lemus. Smart. Able to intercept the second ball. Green striding forward. Balagoon leaves it for Atez Diouf. Trying to play in Brown. The ball far too strong. Diouf falls to the turf. The warning signs are showing at the back. Late on for 10-man Fuego. Can they do it? Can they see out this win? The first ever meeting between these two teams has provided an electric second half. And it is still far from over. Looks like the referee might have given a yellow card to Mitch North amidst all that chaos. Just a little bit of time wasting, doing all he can to bleed the clock. Doesn't really matter that much. The referee's just going to add the time back on. The Fresno faithful just trying to provide a little bit of life into this team. Very late on. Tired legs, tired minds. Jesus Partida isn't one of them. He was introduced just over 10 minutes ago. Ramos blocks the way through. Cerritos playing in David Diaz, who gets on the end of it. waiting for support. Diaz's cross towards Billy Forbes. A very technically difficult shot. He thinks it should have been a corner. He's screaming for it. Tried to pick it out of the air with his left foot. It would have been some strike too. Looks like it has been given as a corner. Cerritos will trudge over to the pennant to take it. Alexis Cerritos and Jordan Chavez, who scored his first of the campaign earlier tonight, arguing about who will take it. Going to play it short. And it's a little early for this, but Cerritos will try his best just to waste time. The referee has called a free kick. Mohamed chops down Cerritos. Looks like the cards will stay in the pocket. Just a little bit of gamesmanship from both players. The Canadian Tariq Mohamed looks to stay out of the pocketbook for now. It will be Jordan Chavez standing over it, and it's going to be the same thing. Cerritos has a lot of time left to be trying to pull this one, but it's something that players do, and Cerritos is never one to back away from a challenge, and he's won a corner too. Pretty impressive stuff from the former DC United Academy product. Third time's a charm. All right, round three, go. Looks like Mohamed's going to win this one, and he's got away from Chavez too. Chavez pulling the shirt, still trying to stop Tariq Mohamed, who takes exception to something that head coach Adam Smith said, and he gives him a wave. Tempers flaring. The sarcastic wave goodbye. Adam Smith wears his heart on his sleeve. Chance for Lexington to level the match to the front post. It was a tame shot in the end. North going to urge everybody to step forward one last time. I say one last time, there might be more at the end of this one. A couple of scuffles here and there. Central Valley haven't seen it out just yet. Mohamed. Knight terribly misplays it. Central Valley will take their time to restart play. As we remind you that if you can't watch the match, you tune in to Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. One more change as the Embers start to lose their heat in this match. Jalen James has been introduced to the contest in place of Owen Green. So a forward for a defender. One last gasp maybe. Referee calls handball. Don Smart wants to move things along. Alexis Cerritos not as much, but a sporting gesture nonetheless from Nico Brown to help him back up. Cerritos to the corner once again. Turning away from a challenge. Did he keep that ball in play? Looks like he did. But it falls to So Kim of Lexington SC. Here's Don Smart clipping it to the back stick. North goes up for it and will fall to his knees. Trying to take a little bit more time off that clock. There's 5 minutes of stoppage to play at a minimum. Headed down in the center of the park. Chavez. Mohammed and Diaz fighting for it. Diaz gets called for the infraction. 92nd minute. Still time for Lexington to steal at least 1 point. Smart for Knight. Up towards Brown, pass is intercepted. Diaz going to try and chase it down in a foot race with Smart. Smart getting to it first and pulled back unfairly by the judgment of the referee. Lexington got to get this ball forward. Still a little bit of time, but not much of it. Knight. Murillo. Kim with the feint, keeps going. Smart. All the way forward now. Central Valley just going to try and clear their lines. Smart on the other end of it again. All the way to the far side, picks out Muhammad. Poor first touch. So here Vasquez fighting for it now. Another late change. Crossed right in the middle and North punches away. Didn't want to take a chance with Nico Brown charging down on frame. 10-man Central Valley trying to hold down the fortress. Looking for their first win at home under head coach Adam Smith. Their first win period under head coach Adam Smith. Amal Knight is all the way up. So practically a two-man advantage now. In the box. It'll be Tariq Muhammad to send it in. 94th minute. Smart. Muhammad's first time cross to the back stick. Two players unmarked. They get in each other's way. Still alive. Murillo staying with it. Diaz fighting as well. And now Central Valley can try and break. Zahir Vasquez taken out by So Kim, who wins a throw-in for Lexington. Nobody knows which ball to use to restart play. It's chaos. Would you have it any other way? To the near sideline. Fox dispossessed by Cromwell. And now Billy Forbes will try and break at speed. He's got pace. Muhammad's on a yellow card. He can't foul him. Forbes stops the attack and smartly will try and take some time off the clock. Gets a foul. Muhammad went in. Will help Forbes back up to his feet. And the referee will seek no further punishment. Some more time now for Central Valley to slow things down. We've seen the Chavez-Cerritos connection to play the ball to the corner and see how long you can shield it for. Chavez, who's the defender on paper, got all the way up for Central Valley second, and if things hold, the game winner. Send all the way out of play. 20 seconds at a minimum left in Fresno, California. Lexington got to get the ball and the manpower up the pitch to the far side. Here's Jalen James. Can the substitute provide a ball in? Onto his right foot. Here's So Kim. Cuts it back one more time into the 96th minute now. Smart. Two players open at the back post. Neither of them can corral the ball. And that's it. For the first time in 42 days, Central Valley win a soccer game. And look what it means to Adam Smith and the rest of the staff for Fuego. A team that has been aching to score goals all season long, scores 2 at home against Lexington, and takes all 3 points in the first ever meeting between these two sides. Relief, jubilation, all of those feelings for the Central Valley faithful. And the 17-year-old Maximus Eck, who got the scoring started, is tonight's American Business Machine's man of the match. His second ever professional start, rewarded by his first ever goal. And the future, UCL Bruin has something to celebrate tonight. Of course, another save worth celebrating. Mitch North getting all the way up, helping to keep it scoreless for as long as he could. That's his due, firing the shot on frame. He would eventually find the back of the net, but Mitch North had an active second half and needed to help preserve all 3 points. There he is, the shot stopper. Won't get a clean sheet tonight, but don't think he's too bothered about it. We'll take one break here before we talk some post-game stuff. We'll see you in a minute.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Colorado Springs, Enriquez, header down Oxford! Jimmy Oxford gets one back for Colorado Springs!
Way out on the goal line, that second one finds Twine! And Philip Goodrum in the 89th minute with the potential game-winning goal!
Post-match reactions here from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Mitch North drinking it all in. A 2-1 win for Central Valley Fuego FC over Lexington SC. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights. And we didn't know how many we'd have after that first 45, but the second half provided all the action, all the drama, and the first professional goal for the teenager, Maximus Eck, the high schooler, early on in the second 45, picking out the top left corner. Unbelievable finish. Meanwhile, Lexington kept the pressure on. Mitch North had some work to do in that second half. Nico Brown's shot saved well over the bar. Goalkeeper doing just enough. He was pumped up too. And nothing was going to pump Central Valley up like a second goal. Jordan Chavez soaring through the air so majestically, heading the ball so emphatically, and providing that all-important go-ahead goal 2-0. The game looked wide open, but there was more to be said in this one. For Matez Diu, scoring in his second consecutive match, his 5th of the season, provided a lifeline, but too little too late for Lexington SC. That would be their last chance on goal that looked any promising. And well, let's take a look at those full-time stats, because wow, got to take a breath after that match. 21 shots in total. Madness, absolute madness. In Fresno, California, on a 100+ degree night, it ends 2-1, possession fairly even, and though Lexington might have had a little bit of a smidgen more, unable to find any points from it. All right. That'll do it from Fresno, California. An unbelievable 2-1 win for Central Valley over Lexington. And there is life once again for this team, for this club, and for all of its supporters. For our producer, Brent C., everybody working behind the camera tonight, helping to make this broadcast possible. I've been Philip Galati, saying so long, and thanks for joining us. 2-1, Central Valley win it. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.